right here. Just... should get the life vest inflated on here. Alright, so you look ridiculous still.
I do.
If you don't know why she looks ridiculous, you have to go back to the previous video, the stink bugs episode, and we can explain why she looks so ridiculous. But anyway, alright, this is part 2. Talk about what we're talking about, why we call her Tippy Canoe. That's a nickname.
I should change my TikTok username to Tippy Canoe.
Tippy Canoe. Alright, so why do we call you Tippy Canoe?
I'm not gonna say the full story yet, but we fell in the lake in the canoe.
You fell in the lake from a canoe.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go back a little bit, right? So early in the summer, right, I wanted a kayak.
It was around June.
It was probably around June or so. I wanted a kayak. I wanted something to get some exercise that wasn't just walking and running. I wanted something fun. So I was looking for a kayak. And I couldn't find one that was in my price range, which was free. So I was talking to a guy at work one day. I'm like, hey, man, you know anybody's getting rid of a kayak cheap? And he's like, no, but I got a canoe. I'm like, ooh, well, that works. What do you want for it? And he's like, I want $500 for this canoe. And that was a good deal for the canoe, but I sure didn't want a canoe. I had a muzzle loader rifle, though, black powder rifle, that I didn't have any intention on shooting. And I knew this guy wanted it, so I'm like, hey, why don't we do a trade? I'll give you this muzzle loader rifle, which is like a $400 rifle, for your canoe, right? And he's like, oh, man, dude, let's do it, right? So we went and picked it up and got this canoe. So now, we're not experienced on the water in any way, shape, or form.
Especially not me.
Not her. Was that your first time out?
No,
it wasn't.
Like my last time.
It was her last time out. Well, it wasn't the first. So we had this canoe, and I took the boys out in a few times, and we had just gone before this, right? Before you went the first time, we got a nice life vest that fits tight, and I definitely would suggest that, and I think you'll know why here in a second.
Yeah.
Before this, we had these life vests, right? And they were the nice ones that real low profile, sits on you, and you pull the cord, and it inflates, right? Yeah. Well, I like this vest. It's great for me. But for her, I wanted something that's always on there, and you don't have to reach around and pull the thing, because, you know, kids ain't that great of swimmers. Probably a better swimmer than me, but still.
I'm not that bad.
Not that bad. But anyway, I wanted something that would fit the kids good. So we got a good life vest. So we're paddling out through the water, right? We're doing really good, making good time, and it gets a little rocky, right? The wind picks up, right? And it's doing this number, right? All over the place, right? And we're having fun with this thing. We're dead center of this lake. I don't think you could have been any further from the shore at all. We were dead center, like at the biggest part of the lake. It wasn't even like, you know, a narrow part of the lake. It was the biggest part of the lake. Dead center.
The whole time I thought I was gonna fall every single rock.
She thought she was gonna fall out. Well, we're paddling, and the wave gets a hold of her paddle.
And I didn't know to let it go.
And I'm like, let it go. But by that time, she's doing this, and I'm looking up like, why is she leaning so far? Oh no, she's leaning pretty far. It's like slow motion.
Not for me, but for him.
It was slow motion for me. Here's what I saw. This is quality YouTube right here. Just tip it over real slow. I'm like, oh no!
That was me.
Splash!
I didn't get wet. Like, other than like my clothes, I didn't get wet on my head.
She didn't get wet except on her head. I'm all the way under the water, right? And I'm like kicking and coming up. I get up to the surface, right? I'm like, all right, tread water here for a minute. Looking over, the canoe's in bad shape. It's upside down and like filling with water a little bit. And she's out in the water in front of me. She's cracking up laughing. She's laughing like just crazy laughing. Like, I'm like, what are you laughing at, girl? We're in the water. We ain't supposed to be in the water right now. Well, then it gets interesting because I'm reaching around trying to find my pull cord. Where's that sucker at? Now, here's what I would suggest. If you get one of these things with the pull cord, definitely definitely know where the pull cord's at. And I'm reaching for it. I think it's right here somewhere, and I'm grabbing it. It ain't there. It ain't there. So I'm treading more water. I don't know what to do. I get up on the side of the boat and like put a hand on it. It starts to sink. Like, I can't do that. And I look down and I'm like rooting around. The pull cord was up inside. So I'm like up in there and I pull it, right? I don't know what to expect. It's CO2, so I know it's going to inflate. You know, I've seen the movie Tommy Boy where it's like all that. And that's what I expected, which is exactly what I got. It went kind of slow.
I didn't know what happened. I didn't know his did that or made that noise. I was like, what just happened? And I looked back.
And it goes kind of slow. It's like, but I had it too tight. So now I'm choking. It's like,
I didn't know this part.
Going from bad to worse, right? So I'm like, loosen it up. Got it loose. All right, we're loose now. And now we're there. And I'm like, all right, let's get some water out of this thing. So I lift up the canoe, right? She's swimming around getting the paddles and getting everything that we had floating around.
Just saying, we didn't lose a thing.
We didn't lose a single thing. It's like, amazing.
And I was wearing Crocs, and I'm surprised they didn't even fall
off.
off.
I'm wearing what was I wearing? I was wearing like jeans
and like boots.
And boots or something. And I'm like in the water and I'm like, this ain't good. So anyway, we get to the canoe, we flip her up on its side, dump some water out of it, and I flip it back over. Well, it's still half full of water. I'm like, I'm going to get her into this thing, right? So I get her up into the canoe. She climbs in, right? There's no way my fat butt's getting in there because it's already starting to sink with her in there. So I'm like, this ain't good.
And I'm very light. And
yeah. So I get her a paddle and like, all right, I'm going to tie this thing off to me. So I tie it to my chest, right, with the string that I got, and I start swimming for the shore. Well, the wind's coming right at us. We didn't make it very far, did we? I think we were going backwards.
Yeah, we basically were. Like I could see like.
Yeah, we're not going forwards at all. We're going backwards. So anyway, I'm swimming. I'm exhausted at this point. And I look across the lake, and all the way across the lake's the nearest boat to us, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, that guy's coming towards us, right? So he comes over towards us. And I'm like, whew, finally, somebody's going to get us, right? So he pulls up beside. He's like, y'all need some help? Pretty dumb question. Dumb question. Of course we need help. What do you think? We need some help. Yeah, of course we need help, man. What are you thinking? So he's like, all right, I don't think I can get you up in there. So why don't you just hang on this side of your canoe? I'll get her into my boat. So she climbs up in the boat, right?
It was very difficult to get in there.
And it was. And then he ties the front of my canoe to his boat. And then he's holding on to the back of it over on the one side as he's driving. And he's like, I just need you to get beside your canoe and hold on. So I'm holding on to the canoe, right? I'm still kind of underwater. Well, he takes off just barreling down there, right? Well, the wake from his boat is coming across my face, and now I'm being waterboarded. I'm about going from bad to worse here. I'm now drowning. I'm exhausted, and I'm like, this ain't working. And he's like, well, I'll see if I can get you up in there. Well, he gets a hold of me. He's a pretty big boy himself, right? He's probably bigger than me, I think. And he puts, kind of anchors himself down and pulls me up in. And I'm just sitting there. I'm exhausted, completely exhausted. I'm like, man, I don't know what would have done without you, because otherwise we're going the other way on the lake and we'd had to walk around. So I'm really glad we didn't have to do that.
At that point, honestly, all I could think was, what if the boat tips?
Right.
I'm like, that won't be good.
This was only like the third or fourth time I'd had this canoe out. Since then, I watched some YouTube videos, hey, and learned how to properly tip a canoe back over, which I didn't know at the time. So you should always know boating safety before you go out. But kind of dumb on us, but we did it. We survived. What did we learn?
Drop your paddle when it gets hot in the water.
Or don't go out on the canoe. That's what you learned, right?
I think that was the last time ever I'm going on the canoe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get her. You ain't been out back?
Oh.
You've been back out since, haven't you? Is that it? That was it.
The last time.
All right. Meanwhile, I got this hat on, right? And this hat went underwater. How was the other hat? It looks just like this. And I'm like, the whole time, like, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose my hat. That's the worst thing I was thinking of. I mean, sure, I could have drowned or whatever. I was thinking I could lose my hat. That was dumb.
The whole time I was like, what if we tip? I have a TikTok idea for this. The whole time I'm like, I got an idea. And
I think she tipped us on purpose.
No, I didn't. But it was kind of a fun experience. And I ended up making that TikTok.
I guess you did. Well, that that was our story of why she's called Tippy Canoe.
Yeah, you can call me Tippy Canoe if you want. I kind of like the name. It's alright.
We got to think of other ideas we can tell stories of, but that's what we got for today. So
Yeah.
anyway, y'all like it, go ahead and subscribe. If not, find something else on YouTube to watch. I don't care. Have a good one, y'all. Catch you later. Be good. There's them finger guns again.